it is my pleasure to present the Branch Rickey Award, which goes to innovation in the game of baseball. Everybody knows how revolutionary Branch Rickey was. He created the modern sense of the farm system. He helped shatter the ceiling and integrate baseball. Tonight we honor two families with deep ties to both innovation and integration in baseball. The Branch Rickey winners tonight are Vera Clemente and the Clemente family, Rachel and Sharon Robinson and the Robinson family. They have familiar last names, but what they've done should be just as familiar. Vera Clemente and her son Luis, who is here tonight, they have been champions of the Roberto Clemente Foundation. They have founded a sports city, which was Roberto's dream in Puerto Rico. They have brought awareness to the damage done by Hurricane Maria. They host baseball clinics, and they offer scholarships and education. Luis is the founder of the Clemente Legacy Program, which urges young people to be goodwill ambassadors, not just for their families, but for their schools and for their country of Puerto Rico. The Jackie Robinson Foundation, one of the first things that Rachel Robinson did after founding the Jackie Robinson Foundation was to construct 1,600 lower income housing units. Their mission continues with scholarships, education. Rachel has been a winner of the Historic Achievement Award from the Commissioner's Office, a Lifetime Achievement Award from the Hall of Fame. Sharon is an educational consultant with MLB. Vera and Luis both work with Major League Baseball to continue the Clemente legacy by presenting the Roberto Clemente Award, which goes to humanitarian actions by current players. Yadier Molina won it this past year. All of these things wrap up to forever change through charity, education, philanthropy, and activism, what it means to be more than a ball player, what it means to have a legacy as a ball player, and that is why they're being honored tonight. Leonard Coleman, the former president of the National League, once said, "If there was a flood, I'd get next to Rachel Robinson. She stands on higher ground than the rest of us." I would argue that these two families, before you could step up, have already offered you a hand up. It is my distinct honor, on behalf of the St. Louis chapter of the Baseball Writers Association, to present the Branch Rickey Award to Vera Clemente and the Clemente family, Luis Clemente representing. Their innovation was inspiration. Ladies and gentlemen, the Branch Rickey Award winners.
Luis really desperately wanted to be here. As a matter of fact, it took him 23 hours to get to St. Louis. Take us through your day to get here.
Wow, I've been traveling since I was 6 months old. But I got to tell you something. Definitely never, ever experienced what I had to go through last night, but it was totally worth it. We got to Charlotte from San Juan, and the first flight coming to St. Louis, as soon as we boarded, they told us we have to deplane because there was some mechanical issues. So I said, okay. So 2 gate changes later, made it halfway to St. Louis. In the midair, the captain says, well, we have a situation with the landing gear and with the landing tire, so I'd rather turn back to Charlotte because we don't know what we're going to be dealing with in St. Louis with the weather, snow or ice, so we will have the emergency crew waiting for us when we land. I said, nice. So we landed. Sure enough, there was the emergency committee waiting on us. They had to tow us back to the gate, and finally, the third was a charm, so here we are.
Good to have you here. Luis, it's been, and we appreciate you making the effort to be here. It's been nearly 5 decades now since your father so tragically passed. And we all remember, or if we aren't old enough to remember, we know about Roberto Clemente. And your family has done a really good job and made a great effort to keep his name front and center. But when you come to an event like this and you win an award like this, how meaningful is that?
Well, I always have a saying, which is, I am very proud to be Roberto's son, but I feel extremely fortunate to be Vera's son as well. You know, our mother was the pillar, or is still the pillar of the family, and she taught us, she brought us up the way she thought that would have wanted us to be brought up, and she wanted to fulfill his dream of building the sports city. So I grew up listening about Dad all the time, but also about what he really wanted to accomplish in life, and meeting people that will show you the emotions, what he really meant to so many. And it's a legacy that you got choices in life. And you can probably think you go to college, you say, okay, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna become this, such and whatever. But when you have parents like both of my parents, it's a choice that you already made, you're born with.
And we heard Kyle McClellan talking about using his platform to make the world a better place. And that's exactly what your parents did too, right? Your dad did so much during his career, and then your mom has used her platform, and you have used that platform to do the same thing. It comes down just to making the world a better place, right?
Absolutely. Our motto is basically building nations of good. There's many different places that are named after Roberto Clemente. I remember Mom and Roberto Jr. traveling when when we were younger, and coming back from events, and I would ask them, okay, so now what? Oh no, it was a great event and everything, yeah, but now what? It's like there was a need for you to be there because they were celebrating or commemorating something about that, but I feel there's a calling. If they're using the name, then I feel all of them, everyone should join us in following what the true legacy is. And whenever there's a natural disaster, we should have them activate in schools, become aid collection centers, and have the students go out into their communities and start, acquiring and asking for the aid, so they understand, it's not just a name, there's something else that comes along with it.
You've used the word legacy a couple of times, and I want you to give us in capsule form what the most important, and there are so many important parts of the Clemente family legacy, the schools, the award, getting other people to get involved. To you, what's the most important part of the legacy?
I truly believe it's, how you treat and look among your fellow men. It has to be born within you. We all have that humanitarian side inside of us. And a lot of the times we tend to forget. We tend to ignore, what humanity is all about. I'll give you a quick example. I remember sitting at a table at the Hall of Fame weekend, and there was a gentleman I didn't know who he was. I could ignore him and just get into my phone, but we started a casual conversation. And on a curious note, I told him that I didn't know if he knew that there was an error on my father's plaque in Cooperstown. And that was that the last names were inverted. And he tended to get very interested in the conversation. And he says, well, you know what? I think I can help you with that. I said, okay. So I said, he says, have you met my son? I said, no. He says, it's Dale. I said, no, I haven't met him yet. I don't know who he is. I happened to be talking to Eugene Petrosky, Dale Petrosky's father, who had just become the Hall of Fame president. Because of that casual conversation, the plaque was not only corrected, but there was a whole program that was built around it for students that would go into Cooperstown with the old plaque to basically describe what is a cultural aspect of why we continue to use our mother's maiden name as our second last name. And with that, the new plaque was taken to Puerto Rico, 4-day tour. I mean, incredible things came out of that. So you always need to be kind to others. We go to schools, we talk about bullying, we talk about all of this, and truly have a direct effect. For those who give clinics, maybe can relate. For the most part, you see the parents, grandparents, very proud about their sons, right? What about the daughters? What about the daughters? You have the little sister standing there, and every time we do a clinic, and one more quick story, Puerto Rico, there was this proud grandfather holding the hand of his granddaughter, and in the backstop there was a hole. So I said, hey, be careful, because, so there's not a ball that, could hit you that goes by. And I knew it was the grandson hitting, and he was very proud. Oh, I said, by the way, why isn't she playing? She said, oh, no, she doesn't play. That's her brother, though. He's a great player, whatever. I said, awesome. But why isn't she playing? Second time. He's like, oh, no, she has never even touched a bat in her life. I said, okay. I looked at her. I blocked him off. I said, would you like to play? She just did this. I went around, gave me the smallest bat you can find. I went around, she said, I got her. She said she wants to play, brought her with me. The rest of the clinic, you should have seen this little girl's face, okay? They were calling me because we were done and ready to be talking to the audience. I said, give me 1 second. When we were done, I hit with her, I run the bases with her, walked with her and introduced her, and I said, I want a big round of applause for such and such. The parents, the grandfather was like really embarrassed, and they understood, they got the message. That's what we do. It's impacting lives every single day you have an opportunity. That's what it's all about.
One last thing for Luis Clemente. You're winning your families, the Clemente and Robinson families are getting the Branch Rickey Award here. But I want you to give a word in regards to your feelings about sharing this with the Robinson family and Jackie Robinson's descendants.
It's so amazing that both of our families have so many similarities. You know, when you go to the numbers, Jackie was 42, Dad was 21. You know, Sharon is my sister. You know, we both represent and defend our family names in many different ways and aspects, and we are totally bonded. You know, I feel that the legacy between those two families, they compare that. They said that is the Latino Jackie Robinson. They share anniversary days, incredible. The year Jackie's 50th anniversary was Dad's 25th. So, you know, it's if you go down the story, it's quite a privilege. Happens that Mr. Branch Rickey, you know the story with Jackie, but I don't know if you know the story on the 22nd of November of 54. He actually was the one who acquired Dad from the Dodgers into the Pirates. So there's a legacy there that is part of the history. So we're extremely proud to accept this award, and definitely had a chance to meet Branch Rickey Jr. III when I played for the Pirates back in '85 in the minor system. So, you know, definitely quite an honor. It was definitely worth having those 3 planes to get here last night. And one other thing, you should be extremely proud, the St. Louis Cardinals organization should be extremely proud to have the most Clemente Award recipients. So that means your players are truly involved in the community and doing a whole lot. I was very pleased to hear about the Haiti. We're helping a baseball academy start up in Haiti as well, International Baseball Academy in Haiti. So thank you so much for the opportunity of being here tonight.
We are proud that you made it here and that you took so much time and trouble to get here. Thanks, Luis.
Thank you so much.
Luis Clemente representing the Clemente family and the Robinson family. They are the winners of the 2019 Branch Rickey Award from the St. Louis Baseball Writers Association of America.